Green is going to score. Green's going to throw it around. They're going to score on a layup, all right? And then this is get it in quick. They scored! They scored! They scored! Get up! Get it up! Get it up! Good. Good, good. Third group. Third group.
Pleased to be joined by Rick Carlisle, head coach of the Indiana Pacers, NBA championship head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, and of course had the heartbreaking loss Game 7 a year ago. Let's start there. The emotional toll of that, such a difficult, not only do you lose the game, which obviously that's heartbreaking, but Tyrese going down the way that he did, just kind of the state of where you guys are emotionally, his status as well, recovering from surgery as you get ready to start the year, trying to get back to the finals.
Yeah, he's doing great. You know, he had actually had surgery less than 24 hours after the injury, so he's doing really well. You know, Game 7 was rough. Of all the games in that series, Game 7 was the game where we finally had a really good start to the game.
Yeah.
And then the injury happens, and when it did, it's a heartbreaking thing. But we have a resilient group, rallied the guys and said, hey, nothing changes. You know, the things that we're concentrating on that have gotten us to this point are the things we're going to keep hitting on. And I think we had a 1-point lead at halftime. In the third quarter, they just, you know, we just couldn't stay with them. And so it was tough.
And now going forward, you look, obviously he will be back at some point. We don't know when, but he's so critical to the style that you play offensively with player movement, ball movement, the way the ball hops. A lot of that is Tyrese Halliburton creating that. So what's your approach here going into the season, knowing you're not going to have him initially? And how does that affect what you're going to try to do offensively?
Well, it's going to be a big adjustment because a lot of things change. It's not just that you're losing a great player. You know, we started our games last year when healthy with 2 point guards starting, 2 primary playmakers. And so with Nembhard bumping over and presumably Ben Mathurin as the starting 2, you know, we have one true point guard. Now, that'll put the ball in Pascal Siakam's hands. He's a playmaker of a different sort, being at the power forward position. But we're going to have to get creative. The game's going to look different. We're going to have to double down on the things that were successful for us last year, which is speed, running, ball movement. You know, our defense got better. It'll be a challenging season, but there's great opportunity.
And the adjustment, not having Miles Turner for the first time, he's been a big staple of your offense, really on both ends of the floor, but offensively, that pick and pop, that stretch big, which was such a big part, I think, in his fit with Pascal and with Tyrese. And now, you know, Miles is not there anymore, so you could talk maybe about the adjustment there at the 5 spot for you guys.
Yeah, well, we don't know who's going to be our starter. I mean, when we had Miles, you know, he was one of our big 3, really, with him, Tyrese, and Pascal. And so it's going to be a by committee thing this year. Isaiah Jackson, James Wiseman are both back from injury. Coincidentally, Achilles injuries that they suffered early last year. Tony Bradley's back in camp, and we traded for Jay Huff, who's a long-range three-point shooter. So we have some of the elements that Miles brought with different guys, not necessarily with the same guy. And so that will present challenges. But I've done center by committee before. There was one year in Dallas we played, you know, three centers in almost every regular season and playoff game, and sometimes you have that kind of dispersion of skill, and so we'll just have to make it work.
Are we talking in point, and is our energy connected? That's what we got to be. That's what we got to be. All right, let's do this better. Let's do it better. Everybody, if you're sprinting, talking, and pointing, okay, we're 3/4 of the way there. Okay.
Your evolution as a coach, like how are you different now? What have you learned? How have you grown? Like what's different about Rick Carlisle as you approach a season this stage of your career?
The game's evolved a lot. As the game evolves, you have to evolve with it. And your attitudes and the way you see things, you've constantly got to be open to change, because most of the time you have 5 guys on the court that can make threes, put the ball down, drive in space, make plays. Gosh, this will be my 24th year as a head coach in the NBA. So, of course, you learn a lot of things going against, you know, all the great coaches. When I first came in, you know, it was Riley and Phil Jackson and Adelman and Don Nelson, you know, Lenny Wilkins. This is a murderer's row of Hall of Fame coaches that you're going against. You learn a lot there. The NBA game now is not changing on a, bi-yearly basis. It's changing by the month.
Hey, you guys need to be sprinting, talking, and pointing. Sprinting, talking, and pointing.